The movie begins by taking us to a secret underground world called Hollow Earth, where massive and powerful creatures live. Suddenly, Kong is pursued by huge wolf-like beasts. Cleverly, he stops near the edge of a hill, causing them to fall into a trap. By making a rock drop, he opens a hidden fissure in the ground, causing many of the wolves to fall into a deep pit. Amidst the chaos, Kong battles one of the monsters and triumphs by tearing it apart. His show of strength makes the other creatures scatter in fear, establishing Kong as the ruler of Hollow Earth. After the commotion, Kong stands alone, overlooking the underground world from a hill. He feels a sharp pain in his roots, causing him discomfort whenever he tries to eat. Each bite or chew causes him significant pain. Meanwhile, on the surface, we meet Dr. Eileen Andrews, a scientist who monitors the threats posed by titans around the world. She explains that Kong and Godzilla are in different places now. Kong is in Hollow Earth while Godzilla is on the surface. Eileen warns that despite their separation, both are still powerful and their situations are closely watched. Suddenly, a giant spider attacks Rome, prompting Godzilla to awaken and deal with the threat. After eliminating the danger, Godzilla returns to the ocean, ensuring the city's safety. Back at her job, Eileen feels anxious as she observes unusual and troubling signals from Hollow Earth. At the same time, something strange is happening at Gia's school. Eileen's adopted daughter, Gia, starts having intense visions. She often has peculiar thoughts that inspire her to draw intricate designs on her desk. Gia confides in Eileen at school, expressing her confusion and fear about the strange images she keeps seeing whenever she closes and opens her eyes. Gia's special ability allows her to communicate with Kong, the last member of the IWI tribe from Skull Island. In the evening, Gia was deeply frightened by the disturbing visions she kept seeing. Her anxiety drove her to seek Eileen's help, convinced that Kong was in danger in the mysterious Hollow Earth, and that they needed to contact him quickly. Eileen, trying to calm her, assured Gia that she understood her concerns and promised to help. Later in her room, Eileen pondered over Gia's drawings. Suddenly, she realized that the strange messages she had received from Hollow Earth closely resembled Gia's illustrations. Understanding the urgency, she sought out Bernie Hayes, an expert who could analyze whether the signals were from a giant creature like Kong or something else entirely. Bernie investigated and made a surprising discovery. The signals weren't coming from a large creature like Kong. Instead, they were sent by humans. These human signals were strange and unlike anything they'd encountered before, hinting at a significant hidden truth beneath the earth. At this moment, Eileen received alarming news. Godzilla had awakened from his slumber in the ocean, causing widespread concern. The Monarch headquarters guess was correct. Godzilla woke up because Kong was nearby. Kong's appearance from Hollow Earth was due to a tooth problem. Eileen contacted Trapper, asking for his help to solve Kong's tooth issue using an unconventional method. Trapper dangled from an aircraft and managed to secure a rope around Kong's aching tooth. They then used the aircraft's power to pull out Kong's tooth, relieving him of his pain. After replacing Kong's tooth with a metal one, Eileen returned to her office and shared her surprising discovery with Bernie. The messages they had been receiving were made by people, which could spell trouble for Hollow Earth. Eileen decided to confront this new threat head-on. She assembled a small team of experts, including Gia, Trapper, Bernie, and a pilot. Accompanied by Kong, the team bravely ventured into the depths of the Earth, discovering the enigmatic world of Hollow Earth. The journey was perilous and tough, but despite the dangers, they reached the astonishing world of Hollow Earth. Meanwhile, Hampton was monitoring Godzilla closely from a high-tech control room on Earth. Godzilla left Rome and headed north, attacking a nuclear plant in France to absorb radiation and become stronger. At the same time, Eileen made a heartbreaking and significant discovery in Hollow Earth. The Monarch outpost, once a hub of human innovation, was completely destroyed. Kong found relief in a cave where his ancestors once lived. He sensed a strange new power emanating from an unknown location and prepared for the imminent battle by grabbing his axe. As Kong roamed, he noticed a huge shadow looming over him. As it approached, he realized it was a small gorilla named Suko. Kong tried to be friendly and offered his hand, but Suko bit him and ran away. Kong followed, only to find himself surrounded by other massive gorillas he had never encountered before. Despite the recent events, Kong wished for Suko to join his tribe, but Suko ignored his plea. Meanwhile, the group pressed on, determined not to give up. Eileen's team was busy deciphering the strange signals when a team member named Mikkel warned them about the numerous large and dangerous creatures called Titans inhabiting the area. He insisted they would only stay safe if they listened to him. As he was trying to convince them, a Titan disguised as a tree suddenly devoured him. They all quickly ran away from there. Gia discovered a significant ancient symbol in the absence of noise. A butterfly settled on a rock, and as soon as Gia touched the rock, a small tunnel began releasing water. Their keen interest led them to follow the water's course, ultimately unveiling a secluded sheltered spot hidden by an unseen barrier. Gia used her hands to open the invisible shield, discovering a new secret place waiting to be explored. At the same time, Kong was searching for his group, But Zuko had other ideas and deceived Kong into going to a river. Kong was unaware of the large snake concealed in the river, unlike Zuko, who knew about it. Suddenly, a huge sea serpent attacked Kong. He struck the creature in the mouth with his axe, but this only made it angrier. The monster pulled Kang into the water, and it seemed like Kong was going to be defeated. Zuko fled, terrified by the dangerous situation. As Zuko was escaping, he saw something surprising. Kong had just triumphed over the massive serpent, holding the monster's head. This scary sight proved that Kong was not just a regular gorilla. As they traveled, they ate the meat of the monster that Kong had killed. Meanwhile, Monarch followed the same path as Godzilla until he arrived at Tiamat. The huge sea monster woke up from its sleep and fought with Godzilla. Eileen and her team stumbled upon an unfamiliar area in the depths of Hollow Earth. While they were searching the area, a group of individuals unexpectedly launched an attack on them. These people belonged to the Yui tribe. They had the ability to communicate with Kong and were the ones sending the strange signals that Eileen had been receiving. A girl from the Yui tribe noticed Jia and felt she should be part of their group. They took Jia to the head of the Yui tribe to confirm if it was true. The leader held Jia's hand and realized that Jia was actually from their tribe. Now was Eileen's chance to inquire about the ominous signals being transmitted to the Earth's surface. The leaders of the tribe revealed something surprising. Many gorillas like Kong lived in Hollow Earth. They all had one leader named Scar King, who was very strict. Scar King now has his sights set on conquering the world above ground as well. In the past, Godzilla stepped in to maintain peace and drove away Scar King. Now this dangerous enemy has returned, posing a threat to the world once more. Meanwhile, Kong follows Zuko and discovers where all the big apes are, surprising him greatly. Scar King is making all of them work very hard. Kong sees one of Scar King's enforcers hurting an old gorilla, which makes him furious. Scar King, previously defeated by Godzilla, doesn't hold a grudge against Kong. Instead, he laughs because Kong has metal teeth. However, the happy feeling doesn't last long. Suddenly, Scar King becomes enraged and pushes a gorilla into hot lava, making Zuko cry. When Kong sees this, he gets extremely mad and roars loudly. Scar King quickly attacks Kong with a whip made from the spine of another titan and a sharp crystal on it. In a tough situation, Zuko aids Kong in escaping, and Kong uses the opportunity to run away. After undergoing a transformation, Godzilla wakes up from his sleep. His body is surrounded by a pink glow, radiating immense energy. This change indicates that Godzilla is at his strongest, shining pink and ready to protect everyone. Trapper wastes no time obtaining a robotic hand from Monarch to aid Kong. This device helps heal Kong's frostbitten hand so he can use it again. Trapper wants to enhance Kong's hand to improve its functionality, enabling him to fight effectively once more. Kong receives a report from Zuko about Scar King and Shimo approaching. Though initially surprised and worried by the potential danger they pose, Kong quickly formulates a plan. He decides to lure Godzilla to Hollow Earth, recognizing the potential for teamwork with Godzilla and seeing Scar King and Shimo as the greater threat. Kong swiftly returns through the teleportation gate to the surface world near the pyramid. Using his immense strength, he lets out a loud roar that echoes and shakes the air, summoning Godzilla for a crucial alliance. The loud noise was meant to get Godzilla's attention. When Godzilla heard Kong's loud roar, the powerful sound traveled deep into the sea, making Godzilla very angry. Meanwhile, in the tribe's special place, Jia prepared to perform an ancient ceremony to summon Mothra, the powerful monster. As the sky darkened, Jia climbed to the top of the pyramid with determination and confidence. Thinking Kong wanted to challenge him, Godzilla rushed to confront him. They engaged in a fierce battle, each believing the other was an enemy, but it was all a misunderstanding. However, Kong didn't want to fight. At the last moment, Mothra arrived with Jia to stop Godzilla and Kong from fighting. Jia hurried in to inform them about the serious danger they all faced. The Yui tribe poured red liquid into the water, causing crystals to emerge from the ground. As the crystals aligned, the doorways to Earth were nearly closed forever. Suddenly, Scar King appeared with his huge ice titan, Shimo. The ice titan used its power to freeze the stones and prevent the doorways from closing. Soon, Jia, connected with the spirit of Mothra, arrived. Godzilla and Kong both rushed into battle. Meanwhile, Godzilla struggled to defeat the ice titan Shimo, who had frozen him with icy breath. The battle continued, with Mothra fighting against Scar King's gorillas. All of a sudden gravity ceased, and everyone began to float and spin, moving towards a door leading to the Earth's surface. Mothra trapped the apes led by Shimo in her net, while Zuko fought valiantly against his enemies. Suddenly, gravity returned to normal, causing them to fall out of the sky where they had been fighting. They were all pulled through a gate to another world. Scar King was delighted to be out of Hollow Earth. Upon reaching the surface, he ordered Shimo to use her ice power to destroy the buildings. Before Shimo could follow the orders, Godzilla and Kong appeared to intervene. After an intense battle, Godzilla celebrated his victory by unleashing his powerful atomic breath into the sky. Once the fight was over, Godzilla returned to his Colosseum to sleep peacefully. At the same time, Suko, Shimo, and Kong went back to their home where the apes lived. There, Kong became the leader, proving himself as the new king, taking over from the old violent Scar King. And this is where the movie ends. Thank you for watching.